A user by the name of BionicDance has made a rebuttal video to mine. It was very cringy to watch.
And there's a reason I don't engage in in-person debates made to speak off the cuff. I like being able to do my research, to check my points, and theirs, to edit my phrasing as best I can to keep from being misunderstood, misquoted, or otherwise have my speech manipulated.
What a cop-out. What you're basically saying here is that you don't research things until someone challenges you on them. Or are you just a coward? The only problem I have with back and forth rebuttal videos like this is that neither of us are present during the video to say anything in our own defense. So it's real easy for you to pat yourself on the back after finishing one of these edgy rebuttal videos. And think that you've won something. But your followers in the comment sections of your videos are just eating up everything that you say. Hardly half a dozen people challenge you on anything, and those that do are usually nothing like me or asking any of the questions that I would ask. It is me that you called out in your videos, and they are full of misinformation that I can quite easily debunk with a simple question or historical source. So, BionicDance, if you're watching this, I have an offer for you. Get some experience in off-the-cuff debates with me, or choose to be a coward and decline my offer.
I've done the research before. I'm just never sure whether I've remembered it 100% correctly and want to check I've got it right before I start asserting it with any confidence. Also, funny story, I've got what's known as a cavernous malformation in my left mesial temporal lobe. To put it simply, there's a hole in one of the language centers of my brain. What this means, aside from the occasional epileptic seizure, is that names and faces, words and definitions, concepts and their technical terms are occasionally disconnected from each other. I understand these things, but the labels for them are not always there. For example, if someone were to accuse another of the argumentum ad baculum fallacy, I'd have no idea what the fuck they were talking about. And if someone said an argument was being made through threat of force, I'd have no idea what the term for that was. Both are exactly the same argument, but the label for the concept just isn't associated with it in my head, even though I've heard it before and understand it. So fucking forgive me if I want to have the opportunity to look up the name of who said a quote, or to check if I have a date right, or to make sure I remember which is the Kalam cosmological argument and which is the ontological argument. Gee, I'm such a fucking coward to want to ensure my memory isn't playing tricks on me. Shame. Shame on me. Shame all over me.
Like I said, it's really easy for you to pat yourself on the back after making a rebuttal video and think that you've won something, but it's a very different story when you're actively trying to persuade someone. You've altered your voice to sound like a 12-year-old boy who got the wind knocked out of him. And your idol, Richard Dawkins, is the same guy who called for Christians to be publicly mocked and ridiculed. So what kind of atheist are you? With your actual voice, let's chat about that. Skype or Discord. It can be a public conversation for our channels, or it can be private. You made it sound as though Christians are on trial for something. Let me make this clear. No Christian has to answer for their faith to anyone. This is a free country where people can believe whatever they want. But if you desire debate, then it cannot be like an interrogation, where you drill us with questions and we don't get to ask any of our own. A debate involves both sides asking questions and trying to persuade the other person towards another idea. And believe me, I have many questions for you. Your burden of proof in a religious debate is to prove to me that your stance in atheism is superior and valid over my stance in theism.
Well, it's simple, really. They seem to think that if they can put atheism on equal footing here with the burden of proof, that this one means something. I'll let you in on a little secret, Levitico. It doesn't. It doesn't add anything to your position. You still haven't proved God exists, and until then, it's just an unsupported claim. Creationists attempt to employ this tactic on evolution in hopes that it'll give their beliefs more credence. Sorry, that's not how reality works. And as far as your meme goes, and this ridiculous idea that negative claims are the same as positive ones, have you never heard of Russell's teapot? It roughly goes like this. Someone makes a claim that there is a teapot orbiting the sun, somewhere between Earth and Mars. It's too small to see with any telescopes or any other technology. Should you believe this? No, because it would be irrational to do so.
The main point being with this analogy is that you're basically asking us to prove that the teapot does not exist. It's ludicrous. You can't prove a negative, nor can you prove that it doesn't exist. That's the point.
It's pretty obvious what I expect from you. I want you to become a Christian and serve Jesus Christ. What isn't so obvious is what you want from me. You want me to become an atheist? Or perhaps you just want to educate me on something. Then accept my offer.
What? Jesus! That was brutal!